What's going on, guys? My name is Joey Franza with Flex Training Systems, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about how many times a year you should look to compete. I'm going to try to provide arguments for, competing more, competing less. Then I'm going to give myself as an example. Shout out to Simon from Masthetics for inspiring this video. And for those of you who are wondering, yes, we have started working together. Simon is eager to learn and improve, so I am open to taking him on, and he's doing great so far. Alrighty, let's get right into the video. How many times a year should you compete? I'm sure many of you have heard the whole, shouldn't compete too much. That's like, you see a lot of people making posts saying like, look at so-and-so lifter competing, minimal times, or competing so frequently and getting worse. And that can certainly happen. I think if you're a newer lifter and you're not dieting and you're, doing your training's optimized and you're potentially in a caloric surplus, you can compete probably every 12 weeks and see improvement. Although that's kind of costly and you might not want to do that. A lot of times we compete for social reasons. Maybe a lot of your friends are doing a meet and you want to do that one too. So you could probably get away with it if you're a younger lifter who's going to be improving rather quickly. Obviously, to compete like that, if you're a relatively weaker lifter, you're probably not going to be getting hurt as much. You need to, it can be done. I would highly recommend doing it like with a coach if you plan on competing frequently. It's all about playing the long game, especially with powerlifting. Another reason, to compete more frequently is maybe you just don't have experience competing. Maybe you have a good base. Maybe you're super strong, but you're young, anxious. You haven't really competed, so you don't really know what to expect. There are some things that you just have to experience for yourself. I can tell someone, this is like especially when it comes to like being fatigued. I can tell someone it's okay to feel fatigue. You're going to be fine on the platform. I can tell them that a million times, and a lot of the time my words don't do shit. They just have to go through it a lot. Like, they have to go through it, compete, know that everything's going to be okay, to actually ingrain it in their brain. It's kind of the same thing with competing. You need to compete and experience multiple scenarios, deal with all the variables that can change on meet day, and really see what it can be like. You can start to find your groove, and then, I would hope that after a couple meets, you can get it down. And like, one thing that I'm really proud of, like with myself and a lot of my lifters, is we're just really, really consistent. Really, really, really consistent. And that you know what to expect. We can compete we can travel for competitions, compete locally, whatever. Everybody's going to do great. Everybody's going to hit PRs. And, I have it down, especially with myself, to the point where, last year at the end of 2016, I've literally just been doing the same thing, as far as like prepping and just how I get ready for competitions, my weight cuts and all that stuff. I just got it down, and I know how to adjust for myself to the point where I think I finished 2016 like ranked 43rd like overall as a 105, and right now currently in 2017 I'm ranked number 6 as a 120. So I don't know when I'll be going 120 again, but just keeping at it. You know, maybe there was a point there where I had 2 meets where I totaled like very similar or a little bit more, but I had some issues I was dealing with, and then you just kind of tweak things, very, very minor, like very small tweaks to move yourself in the right direction, and then boom, things start clicking, your Wilk starts flying. I've seen it happen many times. It doesn't happen frequently, but I've seen it happen, you know, and I'm happy with how far that I've come, and I would hope that if you're listening to this video, and listen to all my videos, that hopefully you guys can find your groove when it comes to competing, so that you can compete more often. I'm just going to give an example of myself. Last year, 2016, I competed, I believe, 5 or 6 times. I did the Arnold. I did a local meet in July, the California State Games. I did a bench press nationals. I did raw nationals, and then I did a local meet 5 weeks after. So I competed 5 times. I had to make weight 5 times, except for the one I did at 120. You know, in 2016, and I am literally, we're barely in March, and I'm the healthiest I've ever been. Nothing hurts. I feel good to go. My joints feel good, back, knees, hips. I mean, I'm careful with my right hip, but I'm like literally the best I felt. And I competed very frequently, and that goes against what a lot of people say, but I'll just use, like, the reason I competed after Raw Nationals was because, like, I did fine. I hit some PRs, but I knew that because that week was so hectic, and there was a variable that I couldn't control. I had to handle a ton of lifters, and then then coach my girlfriend, and just coach John and Jesse and Sean and all those tough scenarios, and Jesse's win coming on to the last deadlift, and just a lot of shit that stressed me the fuck out. A few days before I was gonna literally that was the night before I competed, and I cut weight, and I was cutting down from 247. So it's like, yeah, I did good, but I knew that I could do more at a meet that was less stressful. I did have to travel for the competition I did in Vegas, but it was a quick flight. It was like 45 minutes, although our flight, we got stuck on the plane because of some disaster, and we couldn't get off the plane. But I kept my cool. It's a very stress-free competition. I didn't have to worry about anyone but myself, and I ended up putting, like, from the total I did at Nationals to that meet, which was only 5 weeks, I had to put like 50 pounds on my total. I think a lot of that was, 1, a stance change, 2, gains that I made that I could have put up at Raw Nationals, but again, we had all those variables. So, if you compete and something like crazy goes wrong and you're not happy with what happened, like maybe you missed a bunch of lifts on technical errors, or I don't know, your flight gets delayed and it screws up your weight cut, and you have to do a lot of drastic things to make weight, you could probably compete relatively soon and get away with it. And also, one of those meets was a single lift meet, that bench press meet I did, bench press nationals, which, fun fact, first, second place, and third, we all tied. It was me, Bryce, and some other guy. We all tied, but I was the heaviest, so I got third. So, sucks there. But yeah, competed 5 times. I'm good to go. Nothing hurts. For 2017, now we're going to get into kind of a reason not to compete so frequently. In 2017, I'm probably going to compete only 2 times. That's because I'm dropping weight, so I want to just hover around 225, 230. So I don't really have to worry about the cut as much. Also, I just feel better at like 225. I feel fantastic. Like 220 is where my weight, like that weight class is like really good for me. But obviously everything changed in the USAPL, so now we have to deal with higher and lower the 205 and 231 weight class. So hovering around there, I'll not only feel better, but I don't have to worry about cutting. I mean, I have the cut down. I don't mind cutting. I just, maybe if I get to a position where I'm really, really competitive, which if I don't put 100 pounds on my deadlift out of nowhere, that's not happening. Then I would potentially go up and then cut down, go up to 240 cut. But only going to compete twice because I need time to bring my weight down. I need time to kind of get some gains back. And I really just want to, I'm at a point, especially these last couple meets, where I am very zen when it comes to competing. I don't have any nerves when I go for a squat. I mean, I'm ready and I'm alert, but I'm very calm. I know that I'm going to hit the weight before I even hit it, because I'm so dialed in for my training, and that's a confidence that I would want to give to all of my lifters, and even to those listening. If you can reach that point, it's not only going to make your life, I'm messing around on meet day. If you've ever competed with me, I'm joking around, I'm chilling. It's a very fun thing for me. I'm not stressed at all, and that's one day, there are lifters right now that I'm working with that are very strong, but if I can just give that to them, they have, go through it enough times, then just instill that mindset that just this is not the end of the world. Whatever happens, you're very well prepared. You know that you're going to perform. That confidence on the platform, it's going to change everything. Literally, it's going to change everything. Meets are going to become fun. It's going to be not so much a stressful ordeal. And that's that whole, me reaching that point is why I don't need to compete so frequently. I don't need to get that meet experience because I've done it so many times. And if you're an older lifter and that you've been training a really, really, really long time, and you might need, this is the most common reason not to compete frequently. It's you're an older lifter, you have a pretty high base, and why you shouldn't compete frequently is because it's going to take time for you to get stronger. And if you're constantly doing traditional peaking and tapering and things like that, it can wear you down. I know that going heavy, especially on squat, I used to do singles all the time, but I don't now. I just do them 3 weeks out, 4 weeks out. Going heavy can wear you down. Again, it's all about the long game, staying healthy and just progressing over time. So just wanted to touch on this one more time. You don't necessarily have to compete more frequently. It's going to benefit you, but some guys let's say they come from another sport and they're used to competing. I played football, I played basketball, I played sports my whole life. I competed in other things that I was very successful at. And just from competing in general, you can just develop a it's hard to explain. It's really hard to explain. It's something that John Hack, you guys know John, he definitely has, to a degree that I don't think I've ever seen in a lifter. He's just a killer. The dude is a savage competitor. So he's never competition doesn't really bother him. He just rises to the occasion, and that's something that we all gotta have if we want to do this for a while. Alrighty, guys. I hope you're able to take something away from that. I'll perhaps break this video down into smaller chunks in the future. I just got on the freeway, so it's going to get loud. So that being said, I'm going to shut it down here. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you enjoyed this in some way, go ahead and drop a like. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video.